All right. Thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of the Week in Review with myself, Realtor Rob. So, this is for the first week of June, but of course, Monday, the 31st of May, is Memorial Day. So, I just want to take a moment to remember and recognize all of those who didn't make it to see this year's Memorial Day. All right. Hats off to all you guys, gals, men and women. Appreciate you guys. So, first, we start the week off with a quote. So, what you do today can improve all your tomorrows. It doesn't get any more straightforward than that. So, let's see. All right, next post, red flags that could scare off home buyers. So, they have a couple listed here. Personalization, remove all of your belongings. So you want the person buying the house to be able to picture themselves in the house, not see your family and your memories, and you want them to picture themselves in the house. Expecting payment for features. So when you're selling a house, you have a lot of sentimental value, things that happen, baby first steps, what have you. The buyer doesn't know that, doesn't necessarily care about that, and definitely is not willing to pay for that. So keep that in mind. The next one is leaving pets home during showings. So if at all possible, take your dogs for a walk, take your cats for a ride, but if at all possible, you don't want to have your animals and pets in the home because they're scared, they're seeing new people, they're confined to a room or in a cage and they're barking and going crazy. So it's uncomfortable for everybody. Listing at an unrealistic price. So this is one I see a lot. So if you price your house too high, a lot of potential buyers will never even see your house. So if you possibly price it lower, especially in this market, you'll get more eyes on it and it's going to go into a bidding war anyway. So you'll get the price that you originally wanted. So don't price yourself, is what I call it, out of the market. Do not skip the deep cleaning. You see a lot of houses that are lived in because they're previously home, they're used homes, but you don't want it to look lived in. So make sure you get that deep cleaning. And the next one is being nose blind. Make sure you get the windows open, get some fresh air in there, Febreze, some plug-ins, whatever you have to do. But don't let that scent turn potential buyers away. All right. Swimming pools. Does a swimming pool increase or decrease your home's value? So it says probably not, at least not what you're thinking. So it says you need to consider the cost and the market you're in. If you want to get a pool, you got installation, which is $30,000, ongoing cost of cleaning, pump, heater, $250 a month, chemicals. Pools may boost your home value by 7% if you live in a market where a pool is used year-round, like Florida, Arizona, and I think it says Hawaii. It's kind of small print there. Or you live in a high-end neighborhood. But other than that, don't expect to get nearly out of it what you put into it. That is a big misconception. And congratulations to Fort Worth. Fort Worth is now the 12th largest city in the U.S. And if I'm not mistaken, on this video, it says the second fastest growing. So congrats to Fort Worth. All right, 6 reasons to celebrate National Homeownership Month. And I believe I wrote down some notes on this one. I did, okay. So some of the non-financial benefits: civic participation, pride in ownership, a safe space. Some of the financial benefits are it's forcing you to save, forced savings, because you have equity, appreciation. Oh, the second one, I gave it away, is appreciation. And the third one is stability. All right. All right, let's see. Proactive steps for first-time home buyers. And I have a couple of these here. So payment history. So your payment history accounts for 35% of your total credit score. Your credit utilization makes up 30% of your score. Your length of credit history makes up 15% of your score. And new credit accounts for 10% of your score. Mixed credit use accounts for 10% of your score. So mixed credit is revolving credit accounts such as credit cards, installment loans, auto loans, student loans, things like that. So that's just something to keep in mind for first-time home buyers, how your credit score is evaluated, looked at, and broken down. I think one of these, this next one is one of my favorites. So, yes, it is. So, right along with Memorial Day, veterans, I am still sponsoring veterans for veteran memorial bricks. So, the way it works is, currently, anyway, you have to live in Saginaw, or the person that lives in Saginaw has to sponsor a person, you know, out of the city, like a relative or something like that. So say a mother stays in Saginaw and she wants to get a brick for her son that stays in Dallas, Fort Worth, wherever, long as, you know, the mom is a resident of Saginaw. And what I'm doing is sponsoring the purchase of that brick. So contact me, watch the videos. I've done it for, I want to say at least a year, but I have a couple of videos and a couple of bricks that you can look at for examples. All right. Next, we have another quote. I want to make sure I get this one right. So, you only have to do a very few things right in your life as long as you don't do too many things wrong. So, it's a numbers game. Do more right than you do wrong. And you come out smelling like roses. All right. Next we have, on July 22nd from 10 to 1:30 p.m. here at the Naval NAS Fort Worth JRB, they are having a military hiring event. So I have a post about that with more information if you're interested in that. And basically, if you can get on the base, you know, you can attend this hiring event. All right, my next post. Attention veterans and military members. So Texas has a Veterans Land Board, the VLB, and they are offering discounts in interest rates on home loans and home improvement loans for disabled veterans with at least 30% or higher rating. And I think this was on Tuesday that I put this. The current rate was 2.30. So 2.30 interest rate. All right. A post by Leticia Ramos. It says, what are closing costs? Closing costs are fees that you will need to pay for services provided when you buy your home. So for example, closing costs, appraisal, survey, credit report, and title fees. These fees are in addition to your down payment. So a lot of people just think they have to come up with their down payment and then that's the end of it. So there are additional fees. So make sure you're aware of that, you know, because there are no good surprises when purchasing a home. You want everything transparent, upfront, and out in the open. Okay, so here's another one. So I have a video saying that local communities have 1 billion with a B as in boy, in rental relief ready for renters, but officials say few are applying. So somewhere the bridge is disconnected, burned, you know, the renters are not getting this information. So watch that video. If you need to stay on your landlords to do their part, make sure you do, because the money's out there. So make sure you go out there and get it. All right, reverse mortgage, the pros and cons of reverse mortgages. So for seniors 62 plus, you can borrow. This is the positive side, the plus, the pros. So for seniors 62 plus, you can borrow against the quantity of your home without lenders prying into your income or credit scores. So the cons, the negative, fees, so many fees. Less equity literally reduces generational wealth, You won't be able to move, the variable interest rates, and no tax deductions. So according to this, it's saying the bottom line is there are better ways to tap into your home equity. All right, so I also posted the Military Spouse magazine for the month of March and April 2021. And I just put here, the military spouse, the backbone of the military member, because no one does it alone. No matter what you see, there's always someone supporting that military member. And then, of course, I have my Hump Day homes. I have the rentals. I have above 300K, between 200 and 300K, and below 200K. Check those out. This next one is very interesting. Let me find it. So it says 39% of workers say that they'll quit if remote work is not permitted. Wow. That is a large number that says, hey, if I can't work from home, then I'm out of here. I've been doing it for the last year. So if I can't continue to do it, then I'm out. All right. So we have Leticia Ramos again with her Words of Wisdom Wednesday. Give grace, be kind, spread love and forgiveness. What else is left to say? All right. We have something again on credit. So it says these credit thresholds typically impact your rate. So it's from a minimum of 300 credit score all the way to a max of 850. So it says, I guess 580 is the minimum that can really be, considered. 580, then 600, then 620, then 640, 660, 680. So about every, I guess it would be 20, you'll see a difference in interest rate. But the final one says, credit is very important, part of your home buying process, but don't wait 2 to 3 months to increase your credit score because it may not have the impact that you think it will. By the way, don't forget rates can change during that 2 to 3 months that you wait. All right. The Mortgage Nerd. Knowing your numbers is the most important thing before you even start browsing online for homes. So which numbers are we talking about? She says FICO score, debt to income ratio. How much money will you need, especially in this market, to cover the appraisal gaps and things that we mentioned in a couple slides before. What will your total monthly payment be and how much can you afford? All right, so she also has another post from the Mortgage Nerd. So it's saying, how many years will it take you to save a 10% down payment? And it's nationwide. So Texas is on the lower side. So it says 2.91 years to come up with a 10% down payment. But she has here also that, fun fact, you can get a conventional loan with only 3%. So maybe you can shave that down to a year or so if you only need a 3%. All right, moving right along. Top reasons to own your home. Let's see. We have stability, financial investment, personal expression, accomplishment, comforts, and community. So I'm sure there's a lot more, but those are some of the top ones. All right. What do we have next? Okay, it says, fix these problems before taking listing photos. So some of these you have to read into it, read the article because it says, number 1, tall vases, number 2, small rugs, and 3, which is an eyesore, mismatched light bulbs. So read why they say those other ones. All right, what not to do when downsizing your home. not being proactive with your goals, forgetting to budget for your move, ignoring hidden costs. We talked about that a couple times. Paying for rooms you won't use. So why are you gonna get a big house and it's just you and your spouse, you and your fiance? You know, if you have a couple of kids, you don't need a couple extra rooms. You know, as your kids grow out of their rooms, call me to get a bigger house. You don't want to pay for it before you need it. All right, then I have, oh man, this is, okay, I entitled it People Need to Know. So there was a Fort Worth family that loses their dream home. Message for buyers, read the fine print. So read this, watch the video. Stuff is crazy out there, folks. And then I have my June newsletter for buyers. And in that issue, I have how a housing shortage is driving up prices, handling hornets, wasps and bees in your home. And that's it for that one. Then I have my monthly newsletter for sellers. And what's in that issue? When would you go with the highest offer? And then it has affordable beach towns. And then I have one for commercial real estate. What's in that one? Recovering port volumes drive industrial real estate. Converting hotels to housing. Record-setting industrial construction for Kansas City. So that's in the issue, but it probably doesn't relate. I mean, unless you're, here buying in a different state. And then we're going to end with a quote. So that's awesome. Worked out perfectly. So it says, your growth scares people whose sense of security depends on your stagnation. So believe in yourself. Let everything around you just be white noise. Just block it out. All right. So thank you once again for tuning in for another episode of the Week in Review with myself, Realtor Rob. And until next time, take care of yourself and those around you. All right. Signing off.